I'm back, my fellow Wabians, to give you What If Deku was Scorpion Part 1, and this is coming out pretty early. I know, Chosen, you're uploading early. Yeah, guys, it's the new me, the new guy. Yeah, I'm playing. I remember when I uploaded a lot, like for like a second, and then I just dipped. My bad, guys. I had things to do. But now I'm gonna start uploading more of this What If, and Sub Zero, I think might be uploaded tomorrow. That's part 2. But we're here for this new What If. What if Deku was Scorpion? I know. I feel like if I'm gonna do Sub Zero, why don't I do Scorpion? Right? Like, it's like yin and yang. One's evil, one's good. I feel like doing both. But enough of that. Let's get with our little friend over here. See, Izuku's not going to be ending up like Sub-Zero over there with the Grey family. No. More broken, more tragic, if you could say things. What happens in the real world and not the fictional world, like you are in Sub-Zero. But you're gonna be shown lost in the future, if you know what I mean. So, where do I begin? We see Izuku being born, but Izuku was not born like the regular kids. No, he was born with white, pure white eyes. He had pupils, but they were white too, and you barely could see them, but it's kind of off and off, basically. But his mother doesn't like that at all. He sees Izuku as a failure because all the kids pick on him because he was different. In this world he lives in, if you're different, well, you're not human. So that's what they did. They picked around Izuku when Izuku was 4 years old. Pushed him around, including his best friend Bakugo. Oh, Bakugo's a dick in this story. He's not like the same Bakugo you know and love in my Sub-Zero one. No. This is the real canon one, but way worser. So we see where Deku getting bullied a lot and stuff like that. He goes home just to get hit in the head with a bottle by his mother. His mother calls him a failure in words. Izuku smiles just like his idol All Might. He thinks he can smile through the pain, but no, he can't smile through what is happening at home and at school. It's just hurting in the inside. The poor kid, I would be sad for him too. But, well, I'm doing this to him. So, we see the next day, and Izuku gets up. He walks up to his mother, and his mother's like, "You better have a damn good ass quirk, or I'm gonna throw your ass in the orphanage." Izuku's like, "Yes, mother, I hope I do." And he's like, "Hope." She's like, "Hope. I mean, you need to. You can do it. If you don't, well, I'll give you this backhand, and you be in the orphanage." Little Izuku, or like your best friend Kacha says, Deku just looks down on the ground. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a Deku." He's about to cry, and before he was about to cry, his mother brings up his hand and slaps him. "You better not cry, you piece of shit." She says it in such a raspy and mean voice, mean tone. Izuku feels like crying, but he can't. He knows his mother's gonna hit him. She gives up the reason why his father left, and because he had white pupils. You're the reason, she keeps saying, keeps blurting. Izuku just can't take it. Then Inko grabs him by the wrist and takes him to the car, throws him in the car. They drive to the Quirk Doctor, and well, you'll see next. Well, they get there to the Quirk Doctor, now they're waiting, and stuff like that. And now, the doctors call the Midoriya's in, and Inko starts waiting while they're doing experiment on them. While they do experiments, they see that his quirk is based on fire, like his father's. But it's more than that. It's more villainous. Yeah, that's what's gonna determine Izuku's fate. Just a word. You'll see in the future. Foreshadowing, of course. But now we see where Izuku. They sit Izuku back down, and the doctor brings out his papers and say, well, he does have a quirk and a powerful one at that, but I only see him as a villain. The Quirk Doctor says. Anko just looks at Izuku with a mean face. "So, are you gonna drop the kid off or something? I mean, he's only gonna bring you bad luck." Anko's like, "Yeah, I am." Izuku was scared. He doesn't know his mother, the mother that gave him life, is really just gonna leave him like that. Well, we see Inko and Izuku leave the hospital while grabbing Izuku's wrist very hard. Grabs Izuku hard and throws him in the car. They drive to the orphanage. He drops Izuku in orphanage, and tell him never try to find me ever again, you worthless piece of shit. Throws him out of the car and drives off. While Izuku's in the orphanage, the caretakers looked at Izuku and they grabbed him, registered him, and put him down. Yeah, Inko just fucking left the kid. Yeah, I know. Inko's a dick in this one. She's not as good as Sub-Zero. Don't worry, Sub-Zero's gonna have lost in the future, but Izuku's gonna have lost in the present. We see this Izuku sitting down in the bed after the caretakers take him to the room. He sits there. His smile that he always had was staring into a straight face and then a frown. This is the first time he actually cried. This is the first time he actually cried for a long time, actually. My bad. Babies cry, except Sub-Zero, you know what I mean? I'm playing this up. But yeah, this Izuku was crying, bawling his eyes out. The relief he's having for the first time he's crying. The mother that birthed him, gave him life, is finally gone. It's not that he was happy, no, he was sad. He can't believe, isn't a mother supposed to love the child, not leave him? He knew that no one in this world can care about someone like him. If you're born different, you're not treated the same. That's all you need to know in this world. Izuku thinks he will take that anger and he will force it into a new reality, a new world. He will shape himself. He promised himself. It was like a fire that was lit inside this boy. He was gonna change this world. He was gonna change this society. Izuku was gonna think. He knew his quirk was powerful, but he doesn't know what he's gonna do first. But then we see this young blonde girl walk up to this boy that was sitting and crying in his bed with a lit and anger in his face. She introduced herself, Himiko Toga, or you can call me Toga, she says. The boy looks at her, and this is the first time someone actually talked to him with a straight face, or someone that's actually talking to him without pushing him around and calling him Deku. Well, Izuku doesn't have to be worried about that name anymore. He's no more Midoriya, he's just Izuku. So we see Izuku say, "You're talking to me?" And Toga's like, "Yeah, I'm talking to you. I don't see nobody next to you." And she giggles a little, and Izuku giggles too. Izuku smiles a little, seeing that actually someone's talking to him properly. Well, yeah, they had a full-blown conversation, and they're talking about how they were put here in this orphanage, and she says that, well, her quirk was villainous to her parents, and well, they abandoned her at such a young age. And Izuku's like, "Oh, the same, huh?" And she questioned what he meant, and he's like, "Well, my mother put me here because I have a villainous quirk. I mean, it's based off my father's, but looks like..." He gulps. "I was born with such a defect, my eyes." And Toga's like, "Oh yeah, I just noticed your eyes are white." Izuku was how should I say, perplexed? No, not even perplexed. He was confused. He thought that his eyes was the reason why Toga was talking to him, asking questions about it. But no, she just wanted to talk to him. Izuku smiles a little more. It says, "Well, my quirk, or I think birth defect, my eyes were full-blown white." And she was like, "Oh, well, I haven't noticed that much. I was, just talking," she says. And Izuku's like, "Well, yeah." Now they talk about their past traumas and how everything was just not working out for them, and they just told themselves, "We should stick together," villain quirk to villain quirk. And then Izuku just thought in his head, it just came to him. Izuku says it. So what is your quirk? Izuku says, and she's like, "Well, my quirk revolves around blood, and seeing the sight of blood makes me, how should I say, a little happy. And Ezekiel's like, oh, I see. Ezekiel already made his first friend. He grabs how should I say, a knife he brought from his mom's house. He just took it because, fuck that bitch, right? He grabs it and he cuts his finger. And he already felt what pain felt like, and he can take it. Toga just, how should I say, felt different. She felt more, I don't know, rambunctious around him. Seeing the sight of blood made her happy, and she's like, may I no homo, suck it. And Ezekiel's like, okay. Ezekiel's thinking in his mind, we just met today and she's already licking my blood. Well, after she finished, she's all happy. She's like, thank you. And then she turns into Izuku. Izuku freaks out, like, is that your true quirk? Izuku says. And she's like, well, yeah, it is. My quirk does work like this. I can taste someone's blood, or use someone's blood and transform into them. Izuku's like, wow, that's such a neat quirk. Never thought about it like that. So, yeah. Days pass where the conversation, they grow closer. It was such a bond that no other people come up to them. Ezekiel was no longer bullied. He got a much, how should I say, rougher ego. Or not ego, more of a rougher personality. He doesn't take shit from nobody anymore. He's not weak, he thought. Because he's gonna change his society, he has to be strong-willed. That's what Ezekiel's thinking. While Toga, well, she just wanted to be next to Deku. She does also have goals to take back what their family did to her, beat her, hurt her. Well, yeah, and taste of blood. So we see them, how should I say, at the age of 6. Ezekiel has a known reputation of, if you fight him, you better be ready to lose. He can beat up any orphanage kids, and the caretaker as well. They don't care what happens next. Ezekiel's quirk did form, and fires erupted from his hands. He noticed that chains will come out, and everyone sees Ezekiel as a, how should I say, a villain. They also see Toga as a villain, but they see Ezekiel as the main villain, the baddest guy, the new underdog of all underdogs. They know that Ezekiel is a monster to them. They can't take it. They're weak. Ezekiel's thinking of those pathetic losers. Ezekiel's thinking, such hardcore, Toga says, looking at Izuku, and Izuku just starts laughing. He's like, yeah, I know. A little edgy, huh? And Toga's like, yep. So what do you want to do today? Izuku's like, I don't know. Maybe. And then before he was gonna say something, a kid comes up with a bat, hits Izuku in the head. Izuku falls down, and Toga didn't like that. She runs towards him, ready to slice. She found Izuku's little knife he had holding with him this whole time. She digs through Izuku's pockets and grabs it. She opens it, and then about to stab the kid. The kid throws the bat, throws another swing before he's gonna swing at Toga's head. We see Izuku grab the bat, and the kid looks at Izuku. He's like, "Didn't I knock you out?" Izuku's pissed. He looks at the kid. He burns the bat in his hands, and then he grabs the piece that was burned and throws it in his face. He was hit with ashes. The kid can't even see anymore. We see Toga slicing him up at the same time. Izuku kicks him in the face and he's on the floor. He is now knocked out. Izuku Izuku just looks at the kid and then cracks his neck. You really hurt me, huh? That was not a bad swing. Maybe if you were stronger, you could have killed me. Or, how should I say, knock me out. You're so weak, Izuku says. He puts his foot on the kid's head. He squeezes it, and the kid's screaming in agony. He's telling him, please stop. Izuku looks down. He says, I can crush your head and make it blow up like a watermelon. Do you want that? The kid's like crying, please don't do it. Don't. I don't want to die yet. And Izuku's like, well, you should have thought of that before you fought me. Izuku says that he's about to squeeze the living shit out of him. And he's thinking like, should I or should I not? Azuku doesn't care about someone's life that's not precious to his. Like Toga. Toga's life is very precious to Azuku, so he won't even dare put a finger on her. But this kid, on the other hand, well, he's gonna destroy him. But Azuku's thinking, that's not very heroic of me, but who says I'm gonna be a hero? Azuku says, as he takes off his leg off of his head and then kicks him in the shin. The chin. The kid's knocked out and Azuku walks away. The other kids look at Azuku in fear of if he's gonna fight him or not. Toga tells Azuku that was so cool of him what he did. Azuku's like, yeah, I know. It was pretty cool. I mean, the kid should have not hit me. And Toga's like, kid, aren't you the same age? And Azuku's like, yeah, but I feel much more mature at my age. And Toga's like, right. So Azuku, let's just say Azuku time skip. He's at, how should I say? He's at the age of 18. Toga and Azuku are the age of 18. Yeah, Azuku and Toga are the same age in this one. We see that Azuku is, how should I say? Azuku was never adopted by nobody. So him and Toga were just, kicked out of the orphanage in such a young age. They never had the feeling of family, except of both of them. So they started, walking around. They have nowhere to go. So Azuku's telling Toga, so what are you gonna do? I mean, you did educate yourself in the library a lot. You were really, known of the human anatomy. And Toga's like, well, that's a short way to know what nursing school was, or reading a book of it. And Azuku's last like, yeah, so you're gonna pursue college? And Toga's like, nope. And she's like, I'm gonna be joining you. And Azuku's like, what do you mean? I always hear you at night saying I'm gonna change society with my power. I want to join you in that crusade. Azuku smiles and says, well, fine. Before we do that, I gotta do a little something. Azuku says as Toga and Azuku start walking up to a flight of stairs and opening a door. It was a bar shaped thing. And we see the League of Villains. You might be asking, Chosen, the League of Villains? When are you talking about them? Well, I'm just gonna say that he had a little meeting before that, and I'm gonna tell you what happened before. Azuku was 15 at the age before he met the League of Villains, and Azuku was fighting with a bunch of kids. Those kids were all strong quirked, but Azuku was stronger. Well, we see a person in the shadows watching Azuku fight. They know that Azuku has, how should I say, a villain glint in his eyes. He liked seeing them hurt. He liked seeing them pay for those actions of bullying them. Yeah, and these were the same kids. They were Bakugo's friends. The one that jumped him when he was young. Those were the kids. He sees the brutal beatdown, and Shigaraki took a liking to this, or the masked man. Well, you already know who he is. Shigaraki. He took a liking to Azuku. So, before Azuku left the bodies in the floor, yeah, he knocked the fuck out of them. They're like beat up. They have fractures on their bodies. They're not going to be walking right or straight ever again. Azuku says, as he gets under a bridge, about to go back to the orphanage when he was 15, we see a man in a coat. He walks up to Azuku. Azuku pulls out one of his chains. He's like, so you're here? Azuku's like, so you're here to fight, or you're here to kill me? And Shigaraki's like, oh, none of those. I'm here to recruit you. Very young though. Azuku's like, what do you mean? Well, yeah. Look, I'm gonna change the League of Villains perspective. I know they want to kill All Might, but let's just say I'm gonna change it to, how should I say, changing society for the better. And Azuku looks at him. He's like, you're trying to recruit me for what? And Shiraki's like, well, we're known as the League of Villains. And Azuku just walk back, and he pulls out his chains. So you're here to kill me, huh? What do you mean by recruit? So if I don't join you, you'll kill me? And Shigaraki's nothing about killing, kid. just noticed that you were, how should I say, very brutal out there hurting those children. He's like, well, they had something coming. They hurt me when I was younger. And Shigaraki's, oh, so a tragic backstory. How fond. And Azuku's like, be quiet. You don't know nothing about me. And Shigaraki's like, oh, well, I have my research. Before I saw your little fight, I searched about you, how everything that happened to you. You also have other fights under your name. Very sad what happened to you. Such a villainous quirk, your mother must have said. And Azuku just beams towards Shigaraki. Shigaraki here is not like the pussy boy he is in canon. No, he knows how to fight. While Azuku was throwing punches, Shigaraki was dodging. You're still weak. He kicks Azuku in the stomach, and Azuku flies back. Azuku gets up. He says, get over here. He throws his chains, but Shigaraki grabs it. He's like, kid, stop it now, or I'll kill you. He says he disintegrates the chain off of his hand. Azuku knows he was beat. He can't defeat this guy. He thought, I might just run. Before he was gonna run, there was this purple mist behind him. And Shigaraki's like, tell me, kid, do you want to join or not? Our goal is to change society. And Azuku just looks back. He's like, what did you say? This was Azuku's goal. He thought about his powers about changing society. And then he just sees the out of blue organization, the League of Villains. He just looks back. He says, what did you say? Looks like I caught your interest. So you also want to change society, huh? Azuku just looks back. It was like a kid opening up his present. He's like, so you also want to change this corrupt society? And Shigaraki's like, of course. I'll do anything to change what happened to me. Azuku's like, so you also have a tragic backstory. And Shigaraki's like, everybody in the league does. And Azuku's like, Azuku's thinking in his head, they can change the society. I can change with them. I can change society with them. They're as strong and powerful as me. They can train me and help me. Change the society for the better. To change that no person will be harmed for being different, Azuku says. Now, let's go back to canon. Or no, my bad. Let's go back to where I left off. We see Azuku opening a door and we see Shigaraki coming close to Azuku. And then they do a handshake, and Shigaraki's like, long time no see, Azuku. And who's this? Is that your girlfriend? Shigaraki says. And Toga blushes, and Azuku's like, no. I'm here because I want you to recruit her. She wants to change society with me. And Shigaraki's like, splendid, but how do I know to trust her? And she's like, well, she has also a villainous quirk, or that's what people says. Shigaraki's like, Azuku, I told you, the quirk doesn't make my bad. The quirk doesn't make it villainous. It's the user. And Azuku's like, yeah. And Shigaraki and Azuku's like, okay, old man. And Shigaraki's like, I'm not old. I'm 28. And Azuku's like, yeah, old man. And Shigaraki's like, okay, kid. I like this version of Shigaraki. He's way better than the.
Hello there. Oh my god. So cool. No, my.
Like, fucking get a life, my guy. But yeah. Toga introduced herself and says, I'm Himiko Toga. Well, you heard what he said, villainous quirk, or that's what my parents said. And Shigaraki's like, tell me, what is your quirk? And she's like, well, my quirk, when I drink someone's blood, I can, how should I say, transform into them. And Shigaraki just looks at Azuku and says, villainous. And Azuku's like, yeah, I know. I was saying the same thing. I don't think that was villainous. You can just ask a bank for blood, or ask a hero for blood and just become them or something. Or you can use a villain's blood to drink it. I never knew why they called her a villain and stuff like that. And Shigaraki's like, probably because of blood. Who knows? I don't think you're villainous, kid. It's the user, not the quirk. Shiraki says, and Azuku's like, yeah, you keep saying that all the time. We understand. Well, Azuku sits down, and we see Toga filling out a form. Yeah, I know. It's like a job application. Azuku just sitting on the couch, playing Mario Kart. I know. But you're asking, dang, the thumbnail looks way different. Thought I was gonna start murdering people. Don't worry, Azuku's gonna start murdering people for the good of the world, of society, of course. You know what I mean? So, yeah, after Toga filled her application, she sits on Azuku's lap. Azuku pushes her off, and she's like, "Oh, Azuku, why do you do that?" And Azuku's like, "Stop." Azuku was holding a blush, seeing that Toga was doing some weird shit around him, or weird shit to him. Toga was just flirting the fuck out of him, and Shiraki's like, "Yeah, they're totally not dating," saying to Kurogiri. And we hear All For One talk. Yes, the introduction of All For One Daddy, and he's like, "So you got a new recruit, Tomura?" And he's like, "Yes, master. The new girl. People treated her different. Say she had a villainous quirk. You know, the old thing, stuff like that." And the guy, All For One's like, "Yeah, I understand. Happens to a lot of us." And Toga, for some reason, she's finally feeling acceptance. She's accepted something. People are not judging her. I mean, Azuku never judged her like that, but the villains don't judge her. She feels happy, not by the side of blood this time, or the side of Azuku. No, just happy. She sits down next to Azuku and grabs a controller. They're playing Mario Kart. And Shigaraki's like, he face palms. He's like, "So it'd been over 2 years, I think. And instead of having a conversation with your old friend, you start playing Mario Kart." And Azuku's like, "Well, I've been here for 2 years also." Wait, let's see. No, I've been here for 1 year and you trained me a lot. You had nothing to train me after. And well, I'm now legal, so I can be here and without other people's permissions. And Azuku's like, "Well, what do you guys do that's so villainous?" "Tax evasion." Azuku's like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing." Not that. My bad. That was a joke. But he's like, "Well, we have to talk about something, Azuku." Azuku's like, "What is it?" "See, society is corrupted by two things in this world: the hero system and, well, half of the government." Azuku's like, "What's wrong with the hero system?" "Well, if you can see by this chart I made, every hero when encountered was all ego and all talk. They don't save people. They do it for, how should I say, the money." And Azuku's like, "I did hear about this one person that we should recruit him." And Tomura's like, "What do you mean?" "I think his name was the Hero Killer, but he's fairly new to the killing thing, or the killing organization. You know, villain shit." And Tomura's like, "Yes, I did try to track him down, but he's very, how should I say, hard to catch." Azuku's like, "Yeah, he is killing pro heroes left and right." So they talk about how the hero system is corrupt and shit like that, and the government and how people treat them, and how the news just enforces it and shit like that. While Toga is playing Wii Sports now. And then Shiraki is telling Azuku he has to go to sleep today and wash his face. It's all chapped and shit. And Azuku's like, "No shit, you look like fucking dry. You look like dry shit. I don't fucking know." And Shiraki is like, "Shut the fuck up." And he went to his room, took a shower, and then slept. Azuku looks back to see Toga after playing Wii Sports, Wii Fit. We see her stretching with yoga pants, and Azuku just looks away from that, And Toga's like, so Zuko, trying to make Zuko look to her. How's your day? Playing Wii with yoga fans. She just put yoga fans after the conversation of Zuko and Tomura just to fucking joke around. And Zuko's like, Toga, can you stop, please? It's very, how should I say, weird looking at you like in that position. And Toga's like, what do you mean doing sexually pleasant positions? Zuko just looks away. I mean, how you can look with them pupils, my guy? Get roasted. I'm playing, stop. But we see Zuko singing in the bar. Zuko ordered something to drink. He said beer, and Quirky was like, you can't drink beer, you're not 21. And Zuko's like, oh yeah, fuck, I thought becoming 18 just makes me allowed to drink. And Quirky's like, no, here's a milkshake instead. And Zuko's like, ooh shit, my favorite. He started drinking it. So let's do a time skip. It's a week later. Toga has her own room, and Zuko has his own room too. I mean, he had a room before, but, well, it was empty for that time. So Shigaraki is telling him about training, and new recruits that's gonna be joining the League of Villains. And Zuko's talking about, so what's this great plan you're waiting us to do? And Zuko's like, I mean, my bad. Shigaraki's like, well, we're gonna assassinate All Might. And it took back at Zuko. He's gonna kill his old idol. I mean, he doesn't see All Might as idol anymore, but he's kind of perplexed. And Shigaraki's like, everything's okay. And Zuko's like, yeah, everything's fine. No, I don't know about killing my old idol, but fuck it, for the better of humanity, I guess. Zuko says. Shigaraki's like, yeah, the better of humanity. So this is how we're gonna assassinate All Might. We're gonna draw a plan around the USJ, because I heard, or not heard, I guess you could keep a secret. I broke into, UA. Really baller of me, Shigaraki says, and Zuko's like, oh, super baller of you. Roll his eyes and shit like that. Shigaraki was, how should I say, just like, fuck, my bad, guys, my thoughts for a second. And yeah, they're talking about that super duper cool ass plan that Shigaraki thought of, and it's like, so how are we gonna beat All Might? And Shigaraki like, well, you can also keep a secret. I already know you very well. We got this new experience. And before he says anything, we see All For One speak for him. He's like, we got this experimental procedure. I quirked up a Nomu. And he's like, what's a Nomu? He's like, well, you'll see, All For One says. Nezuko's like, that's on my ass, I guess. So yeah, we see a whole training montage and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Zuko was training, building up his body and stuff like that. And now we see Zuko. We see Zuko finish his second time of training. And then Shigaraki's like, before you gonna do the USJ attack, we need you to do something, Zuko. All For One and Shigaraki says, and Zuko's like, what is it? We need you to recruit the hero killer. Yeah, I'm gonna bring the hero killer much faster and much easier into this story. So Zuko's like, okay. Zuko says as he puts on the mask. Yeah, he's wearing the same outfit. You see, my boy Scorpion wears. Yeah, he looks lit. I'm not gonna be like that, but Dogo was pretty blushing, like seeing that big daddy Izuku wearing that beautiful outfit. Izuku's like, you wanna come, Toga? And she's like, indubitably. And Izuku's like, use easy words. And she's like, yes. So Izuku and Toga leave, and we see the hero killer Stain destroying and demolishing this one hero. I'm gonna call him, how should I say, Sunblazer. He's some C-lister hero, some shit like that. He's known for, actually no, let's hear the hero killer say that. The hero killer is just demolishing this dude, beating his ass up, dropping him to the floor, just stomping him out like it was nothing. He was just showing him no mercy, really. The hero killer's like, so, you really think you're a hero? You're not even worthy for the title. And Sunblaze is like, what do you mean? I am a hero. I save people. And the hero killer is like, you don't save people. You do it just for the money. I see you in the videos. The only people that has a true title of hero is All Might. And I heard about your little past. And Blaze is like, oh no. Yes. So I heard about them accusations and I saw a video of it, but you got it taken down before anyone could see it. But you forgot about one thing. The underground has a lot of videos of heroes, and they have a video of you, what you were doing. And he's like, no, you better not. Yes, didn't you touch a young lady? And he's like, no, I didn't. He's like, oh, I have the video in 4K. You can't lie for me. You did it. And Sunblazer is trying to deny it, but my bad. Hero killer pulls out his phone and shows a video. It shows him touching a young kid, a child, a little boy. And Sunblazer's like, it's not what it looks like. You used your hero killer's like, you used your status to get near the children. You're no hero. You're a pedophile. You're a child predator. Well, I'm gonna wipe you off this face Earth. And he's like, no. Shigaraki puts his knife between his neck, and he is no more. He is now donezo, dead, not coming back to life. He's gone. We see Izuku clap his hands, and then we see Hero Killer throw a knife to Izuku. Izuku uses his chains to hit it off the air. And Izuku looks at Hero Killer, and Hero Killer looks at him. He goes like, "What are you doing here?" Izuku's like, "Well, I'm here to recruit you for the League of Villains, of course." And he's like, "The League of Villains? That sounds like a boy band. The fuck is that?" And Izuku's like, "Contraire, my friend." And before he can say anything, Hero Killer's like, "So you're not alone?" And Izuku just his eyes are wide open, and then he smiles. "So you're not dumber than you look." And then Izuku looks up, and we see Toga on top of the roof. She jumps off the roof and does a somersault backflip and shit like that, and lands perfectly. And she's like, "Oh, Stain, you really had to find me like that? No, I can't cut you if you do anything to Izuku." And Hero Killer's like, "Well, you shouldn't be hiding, huh? Because I'll kill both of you right now." And what's this villain organization? League of Villains, Izuku says, as he says, "Well, we're here to destroy how should I say, the Hero Society and the government, but I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna flip the whole world around with my power." Hero Killer's like, "Huh, yeah, with your power, because you're weak." Izuku tells Toga to back off. This is gonna be his fight. Izuku runs towards Stain, and Stain's throwing knives around. Izuku's dodging it with ease. Hero Killer just looks at Izuku. He's like, "This kid's something, huh? But not enough." He throws his katana in midair, and then grabs the katana and about to slice Izuku. But Izuku grabs his two swords from the back, and he stops it. He's like, "Why don't you join, Stain? It's not gonna be that hard." And Stain's like, "Well, I don't know if you're lying or not. You have to prove it to me by winning." Izuku's like, so that'll be. And he runs towards Hero Killer. The Hero Killer is still throwing knives like fucking Dio, and Izuku's just dodging it with ease. Azuko's like, fuck it. It looks like Azuko just fell to the ground, or fell to fucking hell. It looks like he just burned the ground and disappeared. But Azuko was behind Stain. Stain need to look at it fast. Azuko hits Stain in the stomach, and Stain hits the back of the wall. Azuko grabs Stain by the head and smash him in the wall again. He keeps kicking him. He's destroying this dude's ribs. Stain was about to slice Azuko, but Azuko uses one of his knives to destroy the knife. Stain was getting mollywopped by Azuko, and Toga was just enjoying it. And Azuko smiled, but then he just noticed Stain just bite his hand because Azuko's palm was in his face, and he was slamming it against the wall. And then they sees that the hero killer licked it. Azuko falls to the ground. The hero killer couldn't even move from doing it. So yeah, the hero killer was on the floor. He grabbed the knife. He was shaking too because Azuko destroyed this dude's body. Azuko looks at the hero killer. Azuko smiles. Azuko just flinches his eyes and he just disappears. Azuko went back to hell. Not even hell. It's like he went through the ground and it's all, magma and stuff like that. He gets out and he's next to Toga, but still in paralyzed state. And the hero killer can't move that far now because he's all beat up and shit like that. And Azuko is now paralyzed and stuff like that. So, do we call this a draw? And hero killer is like, yeah, it's barely even a draw. Now we see hero killer crawling to Azuko, about to stab him. We see Toga intervene and stomps on his foot. The hero killer's like, you fucking kid. And Toga's like, enough of that, Mr. Staney. You see Azuko already won. And Stain's like, what are you talking about? He's the one that can't move. And Toga's like, you're right. She let goes of his foot that she was stepping, and Stain is starting to crawl to Azuko. He lifts his knife in the air and about to swing it down, and then he sees Azuko grabs his hand, and he looks at Azuko. So you're not paralyzed anymore? I mean, didn't your time run out? And Azuko's like, hero killer's like, what? And then we see Azuko kick. Azuko kick Stain and he flies back. And Azuko like, well, clapping his hands. That was a great fight, but enough of that, Mr. Stain. And Azuko's like, so would you join the organization to change this society? Don't worry, your dreams and goals will join you when you join the society too. So we're not gonna take away your freedom. Stain's like, fine, I've lost, but at least I can do what I want, he says. As he's like, that is great. Mwah. Beautiful, really. Now we see Azuko call Kurogiri. He's like, the mission was a success. I want you to portal me in this location. He says location. We see a portal. We see Azuko pick up Mr. Staney and puts him in a bed in the villain hideout. We see Shigaraki's like, dang, you did a number on that guy. Are you sure you're not going easy on me on your trainings? And Azuko's like, yeah, I'm not lying to him, because Azuko was also working behind. Was training a lot to beat his master, or Shigaraki. And Azuko noticed after getting stronger than Shigaraki, he felt like empty a little, and he's like, I don't want to take that away from my master, I guess. And just feel nothing. So Azuko doesn't do that dumb shit and doesn't take his master's pride, because imagine losing to your student. That'll suck. As he was thinking. So it's time for the how should I say, the USJ attack. We see everybody we see all the new recruits and stuff like that about to attack and shit like that. But before we do that, we see Azuka get off the portal first with his mask, and it was very menacing too. We see a bunch of students looking at Azuka, and he's like, "Is that the leader?" And is that the leader? After Aizawa told him those are real villains. But we see the leader come out and go in front of Izuku. It shows a Nomu and shit like that. He's like, "So, where's All Might? If I don't see All Might now, we'll kill all the kids." Izuku just looks at Shigaraki. He's like, "Really? Kill all the kids?" And Shigaraki's like, "No, that's to scare them. We're here for All Might and All Might only." Izuku's like, he breathes in and breathes out. He's like, "Oh, okay. But I don't know about those guys." And Izuku's like, "What do you mean? Technically, I told them you can join. You can. They didn't want to join, so I told them you can do what you want, kill kids, and we will save you and stuff, shit like that." Izuku's like, "Why?" And Izuku's like, "Well, we need." Shigaraki's like, "We needed the manpower. Don't worry. If they do kill a kid, we'll kill them." And Izuku's like, "Okay." Some joined. Shigaraki kept talking. Some joined not to kill kids, but to change the society, and others just joined because they want to kill fucking kids. So we see Izuku waiting and stuff like that. He just sits down in crisscross formation, or that formation, and waits. And puts his fist in his chin and starts waiting. He hears Shigaraki telling the Nomu commands what to do. And we just see that Nomu just demolishing Aizawa. Aizawa getting them cheeks clapped for sure. Indubitably, he was getting them cheeks clapped hardcore. Not even a chance to survive that shit, really. So yeah, after Aizawa got his cheeks clapped by everybody, Azuyu just got bored and starts walking around. We see these villains beating the fuck out of these two kids. It was Froppy and the god grape himself, Usopp. I said Usopp, no, my bad. The grape god, future prodigy, and the student of Usopp, grape god himself, the grapist, Mineta. And yeah, I almost said Usopp, my bad, guys. I was watching that One Piece, and it's got like blurped in there. So yeah, Izuku just walks up and he sees those kids, and he sees those kids getting their ass cheeks clapped. Not like that. He's seeing those kids getting beat up, and Izuku pulls out his knives and he's like, "That's it." And the villain's like, "What are you gonna do about it? You talking mad shit for a loser," or something like that. And Izuku just looks at them with the monotone face. He's like, you guys, stop the kill. You can beat them up, but don't kill them." He's like, we don't have to take orders from you." Yeah, he was about to kill the kid, and Izuku just throws a chain straight to the guy's head, goes through the head, comes out. Izuku's like, "Get over here!" He pulls the chain back, and the whole head comes out with the spine too. And Izuku's like, "So if you guys keep doing that, you're gonna be next." The guy's like, they're scared, but it's like, "Oh, the students are traumatized looking at that shit. Like, they legit looked at it." And Izuku's like, "So if you want to kill the kid so bad, you have to go through me." And the guy's like, ugh. He runs towards Izuku. Izuku's like, he throws his chain again. He lights it on fire. It's burning through the guy, and his whole body turns into a skeleton. The other guy starts running away and shit like that. And Izuku's like, "Is that the guy that was about to kill the kid?" And he throws a chain to the guy that was about to kill the kid. He said, "Get over here." He grabs him by the neck. He grabs him by the neck, and the guy's trying to struggle out. Izuku gets in the most highest top, and Shigaraki looks and sees Izuku. He's like, "What is he doing?" And he puts he's about to drop the guy, being like, "Nah, I'm about to do something to show the villains something." He's about to show the villains what will happen if you kill the students. He yells it, "If you kill the students, this will happen to you." He grabs how he grabbed the guy by the neck. He puts his whole fingers inside of his neck. He holds his spine and he rips that shit out, all gruesome and shit like that. Rips it out, and Toga's like, "Oh my god, he saw it." All the villains were shitting bricks, and The other students, I was looking at that shit, they were throwing up. 18's like, damn, that guy doesn't fuck with shit like that. After ripping that guy's spine, he throws the body in the floor. So shit like that. Azuku jumps down. Azuku jumped down a tower and shit like that. Jumps down and walks to Shigaraki. And Shigaraki's like, what a performance. But you just made us lose one guy. And Azuku's like, technically, I made you lose 3. And Shigaraki's like, 3? Azuku, if you weren't so powerful, I would hate you by now. If you weren't so strong, I would kill you. And Azuku's like, you love me. You wouldn't. And Azuku's like, Shigaraki's like, yeah, I see you as a son. And Azuku's like, what? And Shigaraki's like, nothing, brat. Now, where's All Might? And then All Might busts through the door and shit like that. Azuku's like, so, this is gonna be the final crusade, huh? Strongest one here. All Might. And this is where I'm gonna leave it on. Hell no, bro. Now we're gonna see what's gonna happen in this one. Nah, Azuku's like, the strongest one. All Might. Azuku's like, so, the Nomo's going first? And he's like, yeah, the Nomo's going first. And Azuku's like, fine. Azuku just sits down on the ground and starts waiting again. All the villains just look at Azuku in terror, seeing that what happened to them if he fucks with the kids like that. They can beat him up, but he says, don't kill them. So, we see Azuku just waiting there. We see him fight the Nomu and shit like that. We see the other kids helping out. And Azuku's like, well, I can't let that happen. Shigaraki, I'm gonna stop those kids, okay? And Shigaraki's like, good. I want them not eliminated like you always cared about them kids. I just want them, how should I say, defeated. Oh, and by the way, guys, I bumped up the age for high school. It's like, let's just say, you can be 18 and like a freshman. Like the whole age system is different in this one, okay, guys? So everyone you see there is like 18 and shit. But they're newbies. So and stuff like that. I made Azuku 18 so he can get out of the orphanage and shit like that, just for that. So yeah, enough of that. We see Azuku gets up and starts running towards the kids. The kids see Azuku and they were freaking out. That's the same nigga. My bad. That was the same guy that just ripped out that dude's spine in front of them. They were shitting literal bricks. Seeing Azuku. Azuku runs up and jumps in the air. He knees Kirishima. Kirishima flies back out of there. He's just flying and hits a boulder. He's knocked out. And we see Bakugo like, what the? We see Azuku in midair after hitting Kirishima in midair. He spins around and kicks Bakugo to the floor. He does that Mikey type shit. Like he's all the way in the floor, like shit like that. And then we see Todoroki's like, what? He puts his ice, and then Azuku just takes it. He trucks that shit. Azuku's not just walking through the glacier because he's so heated and on fire. Like he's taking that shit greatly. So Azuku's just walking through it, and Todoroki thinks he defeated him. Azuku pulls out of his arm. Azuku was inside the ice. He pulls out his arm out of the ice and grabs Todoroki by the neck, and then pulls back. Because this is what's happening. Azuku's arm was hot, right? So it came out of the glacier, and Azuku pulls back. It's like him breaking through the wall and pulling out, and bringing someone with him. So it's like Todoroki got hit with a wall because Azuku bring him back, and he hit the glacier and shit like that. And Todoroki's knocked out. Azuku throws Todoroki out of there. He cracks his neck. He's like, so the Nomo's gonna defeat him, huh? But we see All Might do the impossible and starts dropping the Nomu. Like, he's like, go 100%. Shit like that. And, yeah. All Might defeat the Nomu, and Shigaraki's like, he's doing his old habit that he did a long time ago. He's scratching his neck. And Zuko's like, he looks at Shigaraki. He's like, Shigaraki, calm down. The kids are knocked out, and All Might's in his last leg. I can take him out. Shigaraki stops scratching himself. He's like, oh yeah, a little prodigy over there can kill him. Azuki's now walking up to All Might, and he says this. Azuku never had the past of being quirkless, but he asks this one question to All Might. Could a quirkless person become a hero? Even though Zuko wasn't quirkless, he just asked that question. All Might says no. They're born different, and they're not and they're not gonna become heroes. They're weak. And he's like, that was a bad answer. Zuko says as he pulls out his chains and just slices his throat. His throat slit open. All Might's in the floor, gaggling for air. Now, Zuko puts his foot on All Might's head. He pushed down to the ground. You're gonna die for that. You should just see Shigaraki. He's just nutting seeing this outcome. He's so happy, gleeing and shit like that. But before they can do anything, the heroes have arrived. And Zuko's like, shit, I'm not gonna take all of them out at the same time. Shigaraki, we have to go. I can't finish him off. Looks like you're gonna survive this one, All Might. You're lucky that you're strong. Zuko says, as Shigaraki is scratching his neck, and he's like, finish him off now. Before he does that, Zuko got shot in his shoulder and stuff like that, and yeah, and All Might is all fucked up and shit like that, and there's all the possibilities. I'm just gonna say all that. Damn, it's almost time to finish this off, huh? Well, we see Izuku tell Kiriguri to open the portal. He grabs Shigaraki and they dip. The villains try to join in. Some villains escaped, well, some didn't. And yeah, All Might survived, even though it got slit kind of open and shit up there. A recovery girl was there and healed him before he could die. But Izuku fucked up his throat though, like hardcore. No homo, but he fucked up his throat like hardcore. He gets in there, and we see Shigaraki saying that the Nomu was not strong enough to defeat All Might. He pushed past his limits, Yami type shit, and yeah, Izuku's just all saddened by the outcome and stuff. He's like, I could have finished him off, but I got shot in the arm, as he says. Izuku ran, like I said, Izuku got shot, ran to Kiriguri, and healed himself up by stealing the how should I say, bullet something he did, doing the most he could do. So yeah, shoot, it's almost an hour long. Yeah, you know what? It's almost there. I'll just give you this one piece. We see Izuku, in defeat. Toga's saddened by the outcome because Izuku didn't get what he wanted. So Toga's like, so Izuku, I know this is a bad day today, but how about me and you go out for a date? Izuku's like, what? Izuku's like blushing underneath his mask. Izuku takes it off. He's like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I can see that you're pretty sad, so how about we go out for a date? Probably gets you happy. We probably can kill some fake heroes on the way. And Zuko's like, killing. Well, why not, I guess. So where do you want to go out to eat? Toga's like, I don't know. You want to go to the hospital, get some blood? And Zuko's like, I don't drink blood, Toga, but you do. You know what? If you love blood so much, Zuko grabs his how should I say, his chain, or my bad, his sharp chain, something. Then he grabs his chains and cuts his arm with it, and blood just dripping off. No, it's like gushing a little. Toga just right there sucking on that shit. Like, Zuko just looks at her like, you really like my blood, huh? And she just goes up and down saying yes. And Zuko's like, well, we could rob just one blood bank. And maybe get a needle and a how should I say, suction something to take out my blood for you, and we can steal blood on the way too. And Toga's like, really? And Zuko's like, yeah, and we can get a bite to eat on, I don't know, someplace, somewhere, somewhere to eat. And Toga's like, oh, Zuko, you're so nice. I wonder what I'd do without you. He's like, yeah, I wonder what I'll do without you too. So this is where I'm gonna leave it off, guys. I know. Like, I just, you good. Like, come on, bro. Cliffhanger, no date, no robbing the hospital. Well, it's about to hit hour long anyway, so I'll see you guys later. And bye bye.